All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the 15th on, let's see if we have fixed it. I'm not used to that. There we go. You guys see the wife? She's staring at us. Ooh. Let's see what she does. That's awesome. There she is. That's a pretty face you got on there, woman. We got 50-mile-per-hour gusts, so she's going to close that for me. Okay. So I'm going to go for a ride. I will be back. I need to go get gas, and then we'll discuss what's going on with the Spyder. Alright, so I'm back. So, when I said the 15th, it is the 15th of February. Yes. The Spyder, now the Spyder was in its tent. I think it was telling me 75 degrees still. It's cooling down. I think it's about 72 out here, and it's February. It's rained, so I don't have to worry about the salt. But we're having issues with this Spyder. This is my 2020 Can-Am Spyder. I bought it. It was a leftover new in 2021. I have 17,678 miles on this thing. And what I experienced was I went out to start it, and it cranked slow, and it kicked, you know, the little vehicular, it kicked the stability light. And when I pulled the code, it stated something with low voltage. So that makes sense to me. When you're cranking one of these things over, if there's any issues, that starter draws a ton, and if your battery's low or if there's a connection issue, it can even draw even more. The amps go up as the resistance goes up. You know, Ohm's law's in there somewhere. You figure it out. Voltage goes down, amperage goes up, something like that. So let me, itchy nose. And this thing lives on a maintainer. Not like every single day, because you don't want to float a battery. You want to, you want it to go through its cycle. So there's times that it's not, but for the most part, it's on, like a 0.8 amp trickle charger, and I go right through my 12 volt, which goes right to the battery. The only leads that go to the battery is this 12 volt, and then I had a battery tender lead on there, but I never used it because I used this. So what I did is I made sure, number one, that the cables for the Spyder, the heavy gauge cables, are directly on the battery first. And then it had, I don't know, one of these, the 12 volt or the lead, and it was tight. There was no corrosion as of the white powder, the blue powder. You know, you get the powder on top of the old battery, especially in the car. There was no corrosion whatsoever. So what I did is I removed the pigtail for the charger, the little pigtail thing. So now I only have one set of wires going down there, and then I took a wire wheel on my drill and I cleaned up the top of the battery, the terminal, so they're shiny. You can have corrosion on there and it not be that powder corrosion, so you got to keep that in mind. So the battery terminals now are shiny. The battery cables, I took the same wire wheel on my drill, cleaned up both sides of the cables, cleaned up the little 12 volt lead that comes up to this, bolted everything back up. And I don't think it's a battery issue, because the last Spyder, well, not the last Spyder, my 2015, it had the factory battery in it, and it was like, I don't know, 7-8 years old, and I just replaced it because of the age. It still started perfectly fine, but I replaced it due to age. So I don't think it is a battery issue. I think it was just a connection issue. It's very important to have clean terminals. Make sure that if you do have accessories to the battery, it's the battery, the big thick leads that come from the Spyder directly to the battery, and then any accessory on top of that. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Make sure there's no corrosion. You can take some sandpaper, clean up stuff, you know, make it look nice and shiny. Make sure everything is tight, and this thing started fantastic. And what I will do, I mean, it's not springtime. I'm not riding this thing every day because it's in the winter. If I have any more issues, I will just pull the battery out and take it to not Auto Works, man, that's old parts store. Advance Auto, they have a Medtronics, and Medtronics is not a load test. It sends a signal through the battery, and it analyzes the signal on its way through the battery and the degradation of that signal, and it tells you not only the charge of the battery, but the state of health of the battery. That's the most important thing, is the state of health. So I'll pull the battery out and I'll take it up there if I have any more issues. And if I need to put a new battery in this, you know, it sucks that it only lasted 2 years, but you know, it is it is what it is, unfortunately. Look at the big old coil springs on the back of that bumper. Oh, I got out through here. Yeah, that's where they park the school buses now for Lancaster City. I do not want to be behind the school bus, and it's about that time. It's about 4:30. Don't tell the boss, but I got off about 15 minutes early so I can go for a ride. Winds are up to 50 miles per hour, and I'm gonna get blown everywhere. But you know, I wanted to come on really quick and explain, and to finalize that video. You know, this thing started right up. I'm assuming we're going to get more weather where this thing's going to sit for a couple weeks, and if I have that issue again, you know, we're just going to test the battery and go from there. So hopefully you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. It's just a segment of a couple weeks of me diagnosing an issue with the Can-Am Spyder. Like I said, it's a 2020 Can-Am Spyder. Bought it new in 2021. We have 17,683.3 miles on it. That's the first issue. It's the second issue. I still need to fix that seat. We'll get into that in a different video. So big thumbs up if you like the video. Stay safe, everybody. Get through this corner, and I'll see everybody down the road. I'm gonna get back to listening to some music and going fast.